Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
And I'm Abbi Crutchfield.
Abbi Crutchfield, the GOAT.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Goat among your friends?
I
Like the
just,
goat of you of what?
well, I'll tell you what happened. I just had a Super Bowl party yesterday. You were there, of course,
Yes.
and I was taking notes on who was the funniest. And here is your winner, Abbi Crutchfield.
The goat among party guests. I knew
Yes,
it. I knew it.
yes,
How
yes.
did you make out, by the way? Because there were like penny bets going on all night.
$11.
Wow.
Big winner
Not
over
bad.
here. Not bad.
What'd you put in? What was the
Nothing.
ante? Oh,
Nothing.
okay,
I just
good.
kept collecting. Coin
Wow.
toss. Did Kansas City get a good halftime speech? Apparently not.
What color was the Gatorade at the end? I missed it.
It was yellowish.
Ah,
It,
classic.
it was on Tubi, so I couldn't tell for sure, but I believe yellowish. KeithandTheGirl.com/Abbi Crutchfield. You can hear all the time she's on. People are telling me, thanks for reminding me about / Gilbert Gottfried and the times he was on. I mentioned his new album. Well, old, of course, but rest in peace. But the new album he has out now, Still Screaming, and the money goes for the disease that he died from. So
That's great.
that's fun.
Not the
Um,
disease, but the
right.
proceeds.
So yeah, / guest, any guest that we've ever had on, you can see all the times they were on, like I'm saying, / Abbi Crutchfield. The last time you were on was in June.
Oh my gosh, things were so hard in June.
Oh
Could
man,
you tell?
but doesn't time fly? I was looking through the paper and they were showing a model picture of Apple, Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter. And when
Oh
I say
yes, I've
model
seen her.
picture, it's not disgusting. I just didn't realize 20 years went by since we made fun of somebody having the name Apple.
She's an adult.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah, she's
crazy or
grown.
not crazy?
I think there are more coincidences of this. Excuse me, more incidents. I don't know the
Oh,
word I'm trying to look for, but it's going to happen more and more as you get older. Is what I'm trying to say.
more tings of time flying. Yeah. And
Yeah, so you just kind of get used to. I'm just letting it wash over me. Like, okay, if you say so,
right.
I'll even believe things that might not be true, and I'll say, okay. It's been 50 years since Home Alone was on. Okay, sure.
Right. Last time you gave me a gift was wait a minute, we didn't even date that long. And the Post loves their puns. The rating, if you jerk to her, it's called Apple Jacks. What the fuck?
That's
What the that's
terrible.
all why would they rate that?
That's so
I,
disrespectful, even if it's not inappropriate for her age. Like
I w-
it's like, what, she's legal. It's like, yeah, but it's still gross.
yeah, this reporter would say Apple turn over. What the fuck? I'd put a worm in that
Eee.
apple. I
No,
wish
my
this
goodness.
apple had bigger melons. I'd toss her fruit salad. What the
Mixed
fuck?
metaphor, mixed
What is
metaphor.
going on? That's too much. That's too much. But we do
I'm
have
still
to.
trying to make applesauce work, and I can't see how I can't go there.
It was very fun to see you.
Uh-huh.
I liked everybody that hung out. I really didn't think about this, but it was snowing and slushy because it's New York snow, and I
Mhm.
happened to leave my shoes at the door, and
Oh yeah.
so of course that tells everybody leave your shoes at the door. I wouldn't have cared if anybody did leave their shoes on, but then everybody did take their shoes off. Or later in the evening, I'm like, "Aw, how respectful! Look at
Yeah.
that." Are you a shoes off person in your place?
It's very clear that shoes go off in my place. It's
Okay.
almost funny if people have to ask because there's three people in the household, but there's like 18 different versions of shoes to handle all the weather of New York City.
Right.
So they're all neatly lined up in front of the house. They all have their own cubby hole. It's that kind of
Right.
home.
Yeah, everybody
So
got. I
people,
didn't even mean to leave a hint, but you know what? It worked out. And
it worked. Yeah, yeah,
I hide a GoPro in my medicine cabinet, and apparently
yeah. Hmm.
nobody looked in it.
Oh,
Very
that's
respectful,
disappointing.
friends. Disappointing
they
because I put stool softener in a Vicodin bottle and nobody
they
touched it.
weren't even curious. They were
Right.
like, we know everything he's got going on.
But yes, the big game, of course, the Puppy Bowl. Team Rough versus Team Fluff. And I'll tell
Mhm.
you something, Abby. I don't know if you watch this Puppy Bowl, but it's fucking goddamn bullshit. This dog
Mm.
goes in the second quarter, goes out of bounds, comes back in, makes a touchdown. They count it. Then they give
Puppy
a dog
behavior.
puppy behavior. But what are we talking about? If there's no fucking rules, you have to I had a puppy. You have to discipline them. 10 points for cute bonus. Where the fuck did a Q bonus come from?
You telling me the ref doesn't have a rolled up newspaper in his hand at all times?
No, in fact, they rolled their eyes when the dog was taking a shit.
Wow.
It was a very deliberate shit. There wasn't even a penalty.
Mm.
You know how like you ever see a dog take a shit and they kind of like look away. They don't want to make eye contact. Like, sorry, I have to take a shit. Not this fucking dog. Looked right at the camera like it was his big moment. It was, I think I'm upset, and not just because I lost $60 on it. It's just there's no rules.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem with Puppy Bowl. It's supposed to be to help you adopt a dog, and yet they're teaching you all the wrong things to do with the puppy. Like they're setting the worst example for what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, you know this cute dog? Oh, he's gonna shit in public, right in the middle of a football field. Then I take the dog to a game, I'm arrested.
We're praising him for it, in fact. So
right.
Yeah, they're setting you up for failure is what they're doing.
Of course, what everybody's talking about is the Kick of Destiny 3. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning kicking a ball pretending they're a kicker. Kind of making fun of kickers, if you ask me, right?
They're not as flexible.
Is it offensive to kickers? I mean, lately kickers have been offensive, so fuck them. But is it offensive to kickers? Like, I'm going to do this for fun? Like, kickers don't do a throwing a ball challenge.
Did this happen in one of their ads, or was it actually on the field? Because I might have missed it.
It was a FanDuel ad, and
it was one of their ads, and they're being
for free. You go on FanDuel for free, so that they just get you to go there, and you pick somebody. And if you pick Peyton to win or Eli to win in this kickoff contest, if you win so much money in free betting. And
wow, that's like one of those Keith Malley bets, who just just pulls you in.
Right, and then I'll tell you the rules later. Right. So they go, you'll get your share of $10 million in bets. We'll tell you tomorrow what you get. And I did pick Eli. He won, and I get $10 in free bets.
Hey, in free bets. Gosh,
in free bets.
10 more. That's nice. Now, they could have told you $10 either way, I bet you.
Right. I bet.
Because you don't know how many people are participating. But, okay.
Yeah,
that's fun. Congrats.
Like it was exactly 1 million people said Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really. Yeah,
they're like,
I think
good
you're
news, you won. Timu does this to me all the time. Before you log into the actual app to look for $2.98 sunglasses, they say first spin the wheel to see if you get any kind of discount, and it's always the very best discount available on the wheel. Yeah, and you're like, wow, well, thank goodness I decided to play. And you're like, yeah, there's just no getting around it.
Peyton kicked. They did it like 25 yards out. Peyton kicked. That missed completely. Missed far to the left, goes into this outside crowd. Okay. And then you see somebody on the corner going, all right, give the ball back. I'm like, I'm not giving it back. The dork gave it back.
Oh, well,
keep the ball.
Pressure.
I guess
he can't leave the stadium without that. Like, he knew.
It was just on side streets in New Orleans. Run.
Oh, that's where they did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's silly. I don't know. I don't know what compels people to do that, to go against their own nature and just
act like you got a concussion and you'll sue. Just take the ball. Come on. Then Eli kicked it far to the right. Then Peyton kicked it. He fucked up. No, he doinked it. He hit it off the side. And then Eli kicked it straight in the middle. And now I'm rich.
I can't even believe they can kick it that far if they're not even kickers.
Well, then they moved it. Then they moved it at least 5 yards ahead.
Okay.
After that, I don't know.
I'd be so intimidated. I don't think that ball could get anywhere near the field goal, like height or distance wise. They couldn't, not closeness and not in the air. I could just see it happening now. Kickball all over again.
Well, when I say 25 yards, it's also 25 to the end zone, which I believe is like 10 more yards or so. Okay. So yeah, the kickers do have it harder. It looked like to me that the field goal posts were wider. and then Peyton goes, wow. You know what? I practiced, and it's crazy. There's really no rhyme or reason to it going in. And I wonder if kickers are like, what the fuck, man? Okay.
Yeah, that's rough.
So
for him, there is no rhyme or reason. It's like when kids just chuck a basketball at the hoop and they don't understand how to hold the ball or where to aim it.
Does your kid play sports?
She's tall enough that she should. And she's more coordinated than she ever used to be. But what she lacks is the drive to
Care.
work together with a team and
Mm.
also care enough about winning. Like if she doesn't think she's gonna win, she quits right away, which is
Ah,
I didn't even try to teach her that, but I had that in me as a kid too. They call it the perfectionist, whatever. But it's
right.
like, nah, you're just afraid of judging yourself and others judging you. So yeah, we'll see. But she does like to shoot hoops with her dad, and she can sink them. I don't know how, but she does. I asked him, I was like, does she listen to you on how to hold the ball? Because that's when I really started to like nail my shooting. And he goes, no, she just does her own thing, but it works.
My girlfriend's daughter's about the same age as your kid,
Mm-hmm.
and she kills it in all the different sports. She'll score more points than both
Wow.
teams together,
She's
but
competitive.
they don't keep score.
Yeah, well, that's
That's
amazing that she actually cares when they don't. Like,
right,
she
right.
marches to the beat of her own drum, I guess.
Well, that just shows you that the kids still know, It's people
Hmm.
bitching about participation trophies. And I'm like, we all got them, even in our generation. I wasn't confused who won the game. It was the
Hmm.
dude that, scored the points, fucked the girlfriend. It wasn't me. They gave me a
Hmm.
participation trophy. It didn't confuse me on Pele. I'm like, okay,
I got
thanks.
honorable mention ribbons for whatever I
Right.
competed in.
Right. You were here too, I think.
Yeah.
I remember looking in the newspaper after a soccer game, and it'd be like, Keith Malley scored the assist, and I'm like, huh, did I? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
great.
fantastic, that's great.
Look at me go. Yeah,
Did you
I don't know.
were you invested in who won the game, Eagles or Kansas City?
Yeah, it really was for the wrong reasons. And it was very petty, but I have been tired of Instagram's algorithm pushing Taylor Swift's love into my face.
Gotcha.
And so there's something so what is the word sanitized about it and choreographed and orchestrated.
Right,
And I don't even mind, her honing her brand or whatever.
right,
Usually I'm on board with everything. The red lipstick, the collaborations in the songs,
right,
I'm all for it. But when it came to that romance, it felt very bachelor to me. And it doesn't mean they don't have a real relationship behind the scenes.
right.
Like that part's none of my business. It's what you're showing to the public. Now you've roped me into it and you want me to care, and I don't. So
Is
so
it
I didn't
a
want to see them high five each other. I didn't want them to
right?
cut to Taylor when he won, and now he didn't. They never
Is it
could.
is it just too much, or is it like a mockery of love?
Maybe the latter. Maybe it's just like you expect me to buy this after I've invested so much emotionally into her other relationships. I even gave
I
her
see. That's
some
funny.
some some grace with Jake Gyllenhaal because I was like, well, you were young, you hadn't heard all the rumors about him yet, but
Right.
now it's like you're grown up. Just settle down. You're on the she's on the verge of becoming J Lo, which is someone who's like, no, 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 or Elizabeth Taylor, like, no,
Okay.
I'm in love, and then they just don't treat it the same way everybody else does, and they're like, oh, I'm not in love anymore. I don't want that anymore.
Gotcha.
I
The
can't.
so no,
Yeah.
I hear you because yeah, I'm sure I was thinking about that. Like, okay, does this test the relationship when when Kelsey comes home and obviously upset tonight? Are they gonna be okay? Did they have too much happiness and they never had to deal with anything?
But do they even have a home to come home to? That's the thing. That's like he just goes to his space and then they text or they don't text. Like that's
Right.
the thing. I can't until a commitment is made. And it sounds
Right.
like I'm wanting to shoehorn them into some kind of heteronormative thing where it's like have a baby already. But it's like no, don't. But also don't pretend that you're following that kind of pattern. It just be single and be
Right.
like open about it and be like I'm not going home tonight. I'm going out to party and he can do whatever he wants. And we'll sync up and have secret sex when you guys don't know about it later. That's
Right.
they said that.
And right, you included me, so include me. It's a J Lo breakup, let's say, and say, please respect our privacy. I'm like, you invited me to the wedding. What do you mean respect your
I'm a
privacy?
guest.
I saw you guys fucking on a yacht video.
I was inside your private vacation.
I'm
Ew.
sorry if I asked follow-ups.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you.
I get you. Yeah, all of a sudden it's 24 to nothing, and fucking Kelsey's almost crying on the field. Taylor,
Yeah,
of
and
course, is
admittedly, I
shocked.
had to leave the party early, so I was
Right.
hoping that Casey would remain at zero, not out of spite, but just out of this is interesting. Now, can they go the whole game without scoring at all? Are they cursed? But then you said
Right.
they scored, right? At the end.
They started scoring, but then the Eagles they seem to be taking it easy at the end. And then they were like, all right, I guess we got to pay attention still.
Yeah.
The score was 40-22. And even if you think like, isn't that's not such a blowout, is it? The score doesn't represent how it was on the field. It was even crazier. But yeah,
Wow.
40-22, Philly, of course. Um, and then of course now people are thinking, well, I saw in the paper Mahomes and Kelsey went on a double date with Taylor and blah blah blah, and maybe they could have fucking thought, relaxed, meditated.
Wait, were they implying that there's a conspiracy that it was in the bag who was going to score and who wasn't, or no, that's not what they were saying.
They didn't get the refs they wanted. I'm
Uh,
just kidding.
I'll believe anything. You're the sports expert, and I'm just the bystander. But I just like how you're like Mahomes and blah blah blah. Poor blah blah blah. Her PR people work so hard for her to know who
Right.
she is.
Mrs. Mahomes, the Trump lover.
Oh, she actually has a wife, and
Yeah.
she loves Trump. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah, yeah,
gosh! Why am I surprised? I'm always surprised by who loves Trump, and I don't know. I guess I've been in a bubble.
I was gonna say I don't know like how much I really know about sports, but if I may brag, a play would happen, and I'm watching. I go, holy wow! And then the announcer went, holy wow! And I'm like, that's what I just said. That, and you're a trained professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were showing like how recent Kansas City games were, Super Bowl games were so close, and I go, yeah, but this is totally different. And the announcer goes, yeah, this is totally different. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
who do I call?
I know. I do that with movies. I guess the dialogue if there's too much of a pregnant pause, and then I'm right, and I'm like, I should have written this screenplay.
There
They
was
should have hired me.
I got nervous. I was watching what's that zombie TV show everybody loved? Walking Dead.
I
And
Zombie. Oh, okay. Walking Dead.
and the Negan, the guy with the baseball bat.
Mm.
He doesn't necessarily say what you'd be able to guess, and I kept guessing what he's about to say. Like it's a bad day to let's just say you're gonna get it, and I'm like that, and I say it ahead of time, and I'm like, why am I knowing what a psychopath is gonna? Holy shit!
You're questioning your life choices.
Right. I started watching sometime before the game, and they had this Greek yogurt commercial, and I guess there are two sports people in it. I didn't recognize them. And the woman's eating Greek yogurt, and this big guy is like, "Oh, I'm in a foot cast. I'm gonna miss my flight." And she goes, "No, you won't. Hold my yogurt." Picks
Oh,
him up over his
that's what
shoulders,
happens.
right?
Uh-huh.
Starts jumping over seats, flips him in the air, catches him later. They
Right.
make the
Right.
gate, and on the bottom it says dramatization: do not attempt.
Oh, whew.
Now, is that lawyers looking for a job, or is that how dumb the world is?
Both. But it's just about how greedy everybody is suing each other for money.
Right.
So
Okay.
someone will say, I actually, it wasn't even a civilian that will say, I broke my back trying to carry a football player in an airport because of your ad. It's a lawyer having an ad saying, did you break your back trying to help
Right.
somebody? We can get money for you. And you're like, okay, I guess I can. And then they sue them for no reason. So it's just lawyers trying to find
Right.
each
Did
other's
you
weakness.
did you flip a football player in the air and then jump over a jump
You
over a
might be
row of
entitled to
seats?
compensation.
Right.
You might be.
There's a
Hire us
Budweiser.
first.
There's a Budweiser commercial with Clydesdales dramatization, and also do not eat their shit. This Philadelphia, and I'll get to this. They are
can't
burning
believe it.
their city down right now. Congratulations to them.
What is that? Is that some kind of trauma response that they can't celebrate in a healthy way?
Don't you? Shouldn't you like fly to the other town and destroy that? Because fucking
Yeah, that makes more sense.
it was last Super Bowl win that Philadelphia did. You may have seen this viral video.
Mhm.
There's a police horse leaves a bunch of shit on the street. They're animals, like they're in the puppy bowl, and a kid gets on his knees and eats it.
I didn't understand
Everybody
that.
I saw ISIS beheading videos that were less disturbing. This
They
is
say I've heard don't crap where you eat, which is by the way what the fans are doing, but this
Right.
is even worse.
the over under on deaths is 2.5, so the news should come in soon. We'll see. 40-22. That is a big difference. The only biggest difference, I think, is the age difference between Bill Belichick and his fiance.
Oh yeah.
They kept showing them
I don't like that.
72 and 24.
It's no one ever Freud never talked about a grandpa complex.
Right.
Like no like
Right.
there's no being attracted to someone, twice your age. Robert De Niro is making me mad too. It's like
Yeah.
what happened? I think we theorized at the party that that there are celebrities who make you think they're down to earth until they do that one thing, and you're like, oh
Right.
yeah, you're crazy, just like all of them. Who at
And
81 says time to start a family?
but Bill Belichick doesn't have Al Pacino to help him on
No,
double daycare. That's the difference. I saw a
I don't
picture.
even know. Is Bill just like who's the other guy? They had a whole TV show about this the team manager who said something racist like don't bring black people to my shows or
Oh
to
right,
my
yeah.
games. That guy.
Basketball owner.
Yeah, and Ed O'Neill played him, Al Bundy. And the way they made it seem in that program, whether it was true or not, was that they didn't have a sexual relationship. It was just about ego fluffing and eye candy. And
Right.
so is that Belichick's issue or no? It's like they're probably doing the Hugh Hefner thing.
I don't know because they do interviews. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. I saw a picture that they post for Halloween. Bill Belichick is dressed as this is true. This Bill Belichick is dressed as a fisherman. They're at the like what looks like the ocean. She's in a mermaid costume, and he just caught her on a fishing line. It's extra.
Well, fish aren't smart.
That's
So
true.
it kind of makes sense. You know,
That's true.
that one they picked a good one. Yeah, I would. Geez, that's a really. It's just disturbing. It's just
Right.
annoying.
40
And it's like obtuse. They don't get it.
Yeah. Well, they can't be having deep conversations. In fact, he did some pre-interviews with different people. Bill Belichick. He doesn't seem like a smart guy. Obviously, he was a great coach. He must have some kind of intelligence. But I assume when it comes to conversations, they're both idiots.
He must, yeah. Is he just psyching her up every time she's like feeling down on herself? He's like, "You can do this. You
Right.
can stay in a relationship with me." And she's like, "Yeah, I can. I'll do it."
They all said what you're doing is dumb, and you'll never make it. They're saying you're wasting your
Exactly. And she gets slowly her shoulders lift up, and she's like, "I will marry you."
You can do it. Lick the balls. So 40-22, and then at the end of the night, like fourth quarter, Tom Brady's announcing, and he goes, "Yeah, so I guess I'm still the best."
Yeah, that was his takeaway. That's
Right.
why he showed up to see. See if he would be ousted as a better.
He's hoping, like he's playing it cool, and he did pre-interviews, and he's like, "I'm rooting for you, and I know what it's like when people are against your team, and you have to show them, and please go out there and be better than me." But deep down, he's like, "Thank God you didn't get 3 Super Bowls in a row."
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
goodness. Yeah. Did you see Taylor Swift got booed when they cut to her on the big screen?
What? Yes, but I didn't know what point in the game it was. Why were they booing her and it was
They were.
obvious?
It is obvious. It is.
They were
obvious.
mad that she was not the good luck charm she was meant to be. And
There
she
were
was
so
making
many
them lose.
Philly fans there, and then they show her and are like, boo, and you see her give the side eye, like kind of looking around the crowd. She doesn't know how cameras work for being a superstar, but she's like looking at like talking to her friend, like literally at the side of her mouth, like, what's going on? Why are they mad? Because you're on the other team and these are fucking animals. That's why. Because there's little fights in the audience that you can't even see, and they're just showing you now.
I love when the Emperor's New Clothes. And first of all, I actually like Taylor Swift.
Sure.
Her songs. I sing them. I memorize them. But I like what she stands for as a woman in business.
Right.
But yeah, I like when any celebrity who is surrounded by people who always tell them what they need to hear, want to hear. And then there's one person outside that's like, "You suck," and they're like, "What?"
Right. Like, why
For
wouldn't
me,
you know?
wasn't.
I would know. I would know if I went there as your boyfriend. I went there as your boyfriend, and I'm in the fucking box. And yeah, they'll cut to me. I also don't have to be in the box. But yes, they're going to cut to me. If I got booze, I would get it. I wouldn't go, "Whoa, football's
She
kind of
should have put like
aggressive."
fingers in the camera space. That would have been good.
Like something fun. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, half these people are not on your fucking team.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, she should not. I think she was trying to act like I don't pay it any mind, and I guess I'll laugh it off. And I was like, no, you should just spit in the camera's lens.
Yeah.
At that point,
Give a Taylor Swift jerk off symbol.
yeah,
Fuck you.
give it. That would be great.
Makes the money sign.
Oh well, she needs a comedian to coach her.
Right. So it's the fourth quarter. There's like 2 minutes 47 seconds left exactly, and they did the Gatorade.
Hmm.
which is funny because it's not even the 2 minute warning, and you're already
Mm,
doing the Gatorade. I like
premature.
it. It's a power move. I say do it in the first quarter, like really fuck with their
Oh,
head.
jeez. No one would tempt karma like that. Then
Right.
then you just somehow there's a miracle and an earthquake happens and then everybody's lame and then you can't score anymore for some reason. Yeah, you can't do like that.
Tell
Maybe
me
you
what
could be
tell me
funny.
what you think about this. So you see us making our little dollar bets,
Yeah.
and before the game, I said, "Don't forget, bring some money if you want to make stupid bets." And
Hmm.
Carrie said, "Hey, old man, everything's Venmo and this kind of shit." And to me, that's crazy and it takes the fun away. To me, the
Oh.
fun is you
Hmm.
just made a bet on something. Now you owe me $2. I pretend it's a million. You hand it to me. I go, got it. What am I gonna do later? Friend request $2. Hey, I know your boyfriend brought over homemade chili and homemade creme fraiche, but don't forget you owe me $1 because it was a car commercial after all.
I think the problem with the Venmo is that yeah, then you got to keep a spreadsheet of who
And
had
right,
what
can you
when.
use pen and paper? Or is that old man shit to keep track? Just give me $1 as it goes, because you're
I'll
gonna
hand it back
forget
to
that.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna seem petty when I go last Sunday $3. I mean, it's all in fun, but
No, you're right. Especially if it was low and there were cents added
yeah,
to it, like 3.75. Don't forget you owe me. It feels bad. You know what? This reminds me. I was at a bodega recently, and I said, "How much is this bag of bread?" And he said, outrageously, 4.99.
right,
And I handed him a five, and I waited for my penny, and he just didn't say anything. And I was like, "Are we really doing this?"
right.
Fine. And I left the penny to him. But I'm like, "How dare you?"
He goes, they're gonna take these away anyway.
Everybody's been saying that for decades.
Right,
I
right,
want my money. I'm
right.
entitled to it.
You're the one who wrote 99. Just write five
Yeah.
then.
The machine said 99.
We go,
Anyway.
no, no, the 99 just fucks with your head. I'm gonna keep it though.
Yeah, he didn't want to do the dance of like, hey,
Right.
me saying just keep it, but I didn't. I just stood there quietly, and he stood there quietly, and no one said anything. And I
I
was like, okay, then bye.
I wouldn't do a follow, even if I have the right, and I should. I
Hmm.
wouldn't do a follow up Venmo request if we split a meal and you owe me $50. It's awkward.
Really?
You're a grown adult, then we just won't out again. We won't go out again. We're grown adult. You know you fucking owe me. Just pay. You know what happened? This is a while ago,
Hmm.
and I was dating Kyle, and she had a birthday event. She had hung out with birthdays. Well, I don't birthday parties, I think they're called.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway,
nice.
we go. Thank you. I don't go out much, and so people are like, "Oh, what do I owe? What do I owe?" And it's like, "Motherfucker, why are you asking her? And you know what you owe. What did you
Hmm.
eat? Look at the bill, or just split it.
They're
You know
yeah.
what you owe,
That's
asshole."
true. That's true. I think that move is to see just in case if it happens to be covered by the host of the party. Not her, not the birthday girl specifically, but like her friends have said, "We
It's
got this." And
it's,
you're like, "Oh, okay, great, great."
but she's the friend,
Yeah.
and
She
so
would it would be up to her to
right,
handle.
so
Her.
then so Kyle goes, whatever, don't worry about it.
No, no.
And I'm like, that's in my head, ching ching. Okay. All right, let's not worry about it. So there's a $500 bill at the end of the day. Okay.
No.
One of her closest friends hung out like to really, it's like me, Kyle's son, and this woman. And the woman's like, so what do I owe? And I'm like, well, now you see there's a fucking check, and some people did pay, most people didn't. And then she
Hmm.
goes, all right, let me know later and I'll Venmo you. I'm like,
Mm.
it's, and I'll even say, I'll be like, this amount, $100.
Yeah, I
Like,
say the
okay, I'll
amount.
Venmo you. So now it's my job, I guess, to ask for a Venmo request that I'll never fucking do. But she obviously didn't forget because I got a gift for that. A basket of pretzels and crackers. Not
Hmm.
even fruit. What am I
Mm-mm.
going to do with 800 pounds of pretzels and crackers and a little jar of fancy mustard? Have a pretzel
That was to say
cracker
thank you?
party? And
No.
now
What
I
was the
have to
pretzels
say
for?
thank you. Now I have to act like I got it.
That's rough. I Venmo, I use Venmo regularly enough, for payment for jobs or for favors. Like if someone needs
Right,
me to lend them money, I could just toss it over or vice versa. If I ask them, I'm like, can you Venmo me some money and I'll get it back?
right.
So I'm not averse to the app itself, but when it comes to like you said, dinner, I don't know. It just adds an extra step. Unless you're not carrying cash on you, then you need to Venmo it. But I still do the math. I'm like, look, I owe 37.82, and I'm going to send it right now and
Yes.
hand it to you the same way I would
Yeah.
hand you real money.
Yes, you could do that too. Yeah. But when it comes to this petty betting, $1 or two, just give it. What's your, I don't even want to sit next to you. What is your address again? Like, who gives a fuck? It's a coin flip. Fuck off. Forget it. And that's what
My least
I think
favorite.
that's what they're hoping. We have fun. And then if you lose, I go, oh, forget it. It's $2. No, the fun is you're looking me and I going, I lost. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Right. And you won. You won
Right.
money that wasn't yours before, and now it is.
Do you think they
That's
like
what
it
winning is
because,
about.
do you think they like it because the money apps are public? And it shows they were at a party.
Oh, I don't know. All my transactions are private, so I never understood the public aspect of it.
It's so weird, the public aspect. Like when
But
I
I still
see,
scroll it, and I'm like, ooh, what are you guys up to? Buying plants for each
yeah,
other? What's that about?
yeah.
I just
Oh, I see comedian couples obviously split rent and the woman paid first. And I'm like,
oh no.
first of all, dude, get your shit together. Secondly,
Ah, yeah. Oh no, I can't. It's all private. I don't need anybody to know how much I
right.
pay a babysitter or whatever it is. Um, wait, I wanted to
Thank
say
you.
something. I want to go backwards real quick
Yeah.
to the betting and the money before I forget. The cash. You said something right before why you
Cash,
like it to be cash.
because you stare at me and you lost and I won. And
Yeah, the losing part. That's not fun to act like you didn't say out loud. Like, I think the next we were doing commercial bets.
yes,
I
yeah,
think the next commercial is gonna have a dog, and then it's clearly a car. Then everybody should just yell and say, "Oh, you lost!" Like
yeah,
everybody should. You can't just be like, "Well, wait, were we counting that as a commercial?" Like that's the thing I
right.
don't like when people go in on a bet and then they pretend they weren't really betting. You
Yes,
got to go all the way in.
of course. Of course.
Anyway,
I saw before I saw some stuff before the game, and they're in New Orleans, and say so they keep cutting to like the history of New Orleans and the great jazz music over the years, but
huh.
it's no music none of us fucking listen to. John Baptiste, sure, but not this old shit. And anytime they'd be like, you know what, we could use a band right now. Obviously, it's planned, and they're like, well, actually, we have the blah blah blah, and they come out of this little bar into this main area and start playing. And guess
Mhm.
what? Everybody loves it so much they cut to commercial every single time. What are you doing, acting like we all listen to this bullshit?
Resentful. Well, first of all, yeah, you don't listen to it unless I know you don't because you're not wearing like, a hat. People who just wear
Right,
hats eternally, they love New Orleans music. I don't know why that is, but it's just like and a vest. They own a vest. It's
right.
just like you're a different level of classy. You probably never ever smoke a cigarette, but you do own a pipe. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But
But don't act like it's great when you know it's not. You know it's not great. Just
you're quirky. Don't make us all quirky. But I didn't like the music choices for most of the commercials because, no matter the race of the person, it was always country. And I felt
right.
like I was being gaslit because no one else noticed it or talked about it online. I'm like, does anybody else see this happening? Because I do not listen to country. I know a lot of people who do. I have family members who do, but it bothers me that it was like, is there
I get you.
no hip hop in ads anymore? And the answer is
Right.
no, not in Trump's America.
I did see John Batiste. He did the Star Spangled Banner.
Nice.
And
I
you know
didn't I
what's
didn't get to see that.
I like that.
So I like him.
Well, first it was Brad Pitt came on
Oh
and
wow.
explains the football huddle is really us, America, and we're all in one big huddle. I'm like, okay, what?
No.
And I get to call him celebrity, but what? Who gives a fuck? So we're all one person. We all have to stick and work together. Then it gets to the Star Spangled Banner, and we're like, I bet it's over. I bet it's gonna be over 2 minutes long. Fuck you. No, fuck you. $2. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
It's
good.
funny.
That's the beauty of it. That reminds me of the hate commercials with the Snoop Dogg
Oh my God.
and was it Tom Brady saying,
Tom
I hate
Brady.
this about you. I hate that about you. Now I'm gonna switch wildly to
Sure.
the Nike ad of women who are like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I thought the whole point is to be subversive and be like an aha moment at the end of this ad of like, but you can, or but we
Right.
shouldn't hate. And I'm like, all you did was waste 3 minutes of my life
Right.
putting negative imagery and self shame into my brain.
I hated that Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady commercial.
It was
And
weird.
and it was the two of them going back and forth. obviously being, I don't know if it's sarcastic or whatever, but really yelling at each other like, I hate you and I hate you because I thought you hated me. Well, I hate you because my friends told me to hate you. Well, I hate you. Like
Ugh.
it's like we're supposed to be so simple. No, I hate
Yeah.
Trump and Snoop. I hate that you showed up and Tom Brady. I hate a MAGA hat was in your fucking locker room
Say real
presented like a
things.
trophy. I hate that. Don't act like that's more gaslighting. No, we
Yeah.
know why we hate you. And that is,
Hmm.
I hate you because I think the algorithm. No, fuck you. I hate that you're supporting racist fucking policies, et cetera, et cetera. Don't act like I just hate you and I don't know why.
Yeah, and there's
Fuck
no
off.
reason. Yeah, I felt like an after school special from the 90s. It's bad.
You played for Trump, but you don't understand why we're all hating.
After years of saying like that's not acceptable. He had already said, "Hey, anybody that,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, he's using all
whatever,
the Uncle Tom words. Yeah.
compromises their integrity to do this or
Yeah,
that." And it's
fuck
like,
you.
okay,
Hey,
all
baby
right.
boo. Yeah. And by the way, so Taylor Swift gets booed. Speaking of Trump, Trump
Right.
tweeted this out. To be clear, absolutely true. The
Uh-huh.
Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see. He said. Let's see. The only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed in all caps, out of the stadium. MAGA
Mm.
is very unforgiving. There's your stop the hate, Tom and Snoop. We're very unforgiving. Oh, we're one huddle? We're very unforgiving. Okay, Taylor?
He didn't see the commercial. See, he was there. He wasn't
Right.
watching it. He should have. Well, he should have watched it. Yeah, all that mixed messaging and ugh, it's just a waste of everybody's time.
Don't act like you're so fucking high and mighty when you just sold out.
Mm.
Tom Brady got a 10-year, $375 million contract to be an announcer. Sure.
Wow. Okay. Wow. 10
Makes sense.
years? 10 more years of that? His face is going to continue to change.
I did.
I could barely recognize him this time.
He walks so weird. He was doing like he did like the pre-show. He
Okay.
walks weird. He talks funny as fuck. He was trying to narrate. He's no Leaf Schreiber. And then there was I didn't know everybody thought this. I'd never seen him like walk and talk. There's like a battery commercial, and they change his battery in his wrist
Hmm.
like he's a real robot. Is that what people understand that he really is? I thought I just realized it.
I thought the story of him is that he tries to achieve perfection and
Right.
so he can't fail. That's the robot slant. I don't know if it's like you just have no social skills and you're like a non-human. I don't know. Which
Yeah.
one were they trying to say? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, that fits. Does he get the joke? I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Yeah, I didn't get some of the commercials. There was
I
some
didn't get
kind
any
of
of them.
cruise, like come on a all-inclusive cruise, and it was with Orlando Bloom and Drew Barrymore, like they're a couple. Was Katy
I
Perry
know.
busy? And
Yeah, they're famously not a couple. That's weird.
and just yeah, and pretend you're just a couple, I guess. But obviously, we're supposed to know you're a celebrity, and that's
Hmm.
what the joke is. When that
Hmm.
the dude from Schitt's Creek with the big eyebrows, the dad,
Hmm.
we know it's him. That's why when he's saying something silly or stupid, it's like, oh, that's what he would say. That's funny, and then his
Hmm.
eyebrows start flying around the room or whatever the fuck, and you're like, that's funny because it's you, a celebrity. I know who you are, so I know
Hmm.
that Orlando and Drew Barrymore. Does Katy Perry have questions? What cruise was this? Because it's you playing yourselves. It's just
Yeah, are
strange.
they good friends? Yeah, I didn't. That was a head scratcher. There was when I was walking my daughter to school, I ran into another friend, his classmate's mom, and she was talking about the commercials. I said, "Did you have a favorite?" Because I didn't care for any of them, and she was like,
Right.
"Oh, the one with Seal was funny," and I was like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looked weird, but what was funny about it? And she goes, "Oh, the things he was saying. He was singing some kind of parody
He was a
song." And I was
seal.
like,
See,
"Yeah, he's
you
yeah,
see,
seal as
he's
a seal."
seal, and his face was a seal,
So
and
anyway, a lot of the ads just seemed like this is funny, right? And it was like,
right.
no, I don't get what you're going for here. Why is that man's head a hat? Tubi,
Seal
explain
was
it.
a seal. Meg Ryan had a whole new head. She was a
Uh,
cat. It was a new thing they were doing. That's all.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just remember $8 million for 30 seconds each of these commercials.
Mm-mm. They didn't hire anybody. I think AI wrote all of the ads this year.
I think you're
They
right.
they
Because
didn't
you know
hire a
what?
person.
So it was Little Caesars commercial where that dude's
Mhm.
eyebrows were flying around, and all over the place. Then there was a Pringles
Pringles.
commercial with celebrities that had famous mustaches, and those started flying around too. And if I
Mm-mm.
paid $8 million and I was either of these companies, I'd been like, "You motherfuckers could have told me."
Right. We hired the same ad agency and we
Right.
didn't know.
I don't have any ideas. Okay, get this. Not the eyebrows. Well, pubes? No, 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 no. Famous mustaches are gonna fly around for no fucking reason.
Oh no.
The celebrity thing is
Weird.
weird. Like, each team had a celebrity announcer get people jazzed up when the game started. And
Oh,
who was Kansas City? Kansas City was it's not coming to me, but who is coming to me is Bradley Cooper for Philadelphia, and he
I
was
didn't even
holding
notice
up
that.
he was holding a kid when he started. Oh, John Hamm. John Hamm was for Kansas
Oh,
City.
Ham. Okay, yeah.
So I guess he's from Kansas City,
Oh.
and the other dude, Bradley Cooper, is holding a kid. And I'm like, I don't know how I know this. That's not even your kid. Did you go,
Can't
hand
be.
me a kid? It'll be cute. John Hamm's just yelling at you. I'm going to be yelling, hold a kid.
The only kidless person I accept as a father figure is, I think, I'm going to say his name wrong. Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
Pedro
yes.
Pascal plays a dad in every single thing in every video game and whatever. And
Right.
Mandalorian, he's like the dad of an alien. But and I get it. He's a bachelor and he has nieces and nephews. Bradley Cooper, I do not buy as knowing children. Like, what kids does he know?
And also, it's not even a TV show or a video game. It's like real. It's not even an ad. It's real. And it's like, here's a kid. Come
Give
on,
me a kid.
Philadelphia. He asked for it. He snapped his fingers.
Oh
Weird.
man. Anyway.
There's a Sabrina Carpenter Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And like you shake coffee like a martini shaker sometimes. And so they're shaking coffee, and it says shaking on the side. And the
Mm,
joke was, I like to shake my S.
yeah.
And I guess S is short for shaken. Like, okay, okay, okay. All right.
I auditioned for that commercial and didn't make that connection until right now.
Oh,
I
that's
just thought
funny.
I just thought shaking my S is because they can't say ass. Like that's I didn't know that S stood for something.
Do you think they looked at each other and was like, I don't think she gets it?
I played it well. I don't know what they chose. That one and I don't know if you've ever seen the one where there's people shaking because they smelled their unstoppables, their Downy unstoppables, and
Okay.
now they're like in a good mood because it smells so amazing and they
Mhm.
can't stop shaking. But yet they have told people both in the audition and I see on the actual ad, do not show it on your face. Just act normal. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Does it make you
Right.
happy or not? Does it just give you like the chemicals give you a neurological disorder that just makes you shake?
Right.
What you doing to us?
Like,
So
she
anyway,
doesn't,
yeah,
she doesn't get it.
so shaking my ass. How did they sell it? Did they sell it like these people are being
No, they
cheeky
just
about?
shook it and says, "I love to shake my ass." They did say it kind of straight face, and then there was an older lady. I don't know if it was her mom or what, and she's like,
Uh,
and it's funny when old people curse. So she's like, "I love shaking my ass too," and then maybe a
uh,
stranger's like, "What?
oh,
The
did
new
she just say
Dunkin'?
what I thought?
Whatever the fuck?" Yeah, um,
Weird.
yeah, and then there was Starbucks. Starbucks is acting like they're a brand new restaurant now. They have a new CEO owner, and they're like, "Welcome back to that perfect cup of
Oh,
coffee." And
what?
they also they're bringing back rating your names on the cups.
Oh, I didn't know they took it away.
They
Starbucks in
apparently
my
they
neighborhood has not changed for
oh
decades.
they didn't know. Now
No, like the seats are all ripped up. Like a cat got in there and scratched the seats, and they've not replaced those. My Starbucks is the same. So
and
they stopped doing names on the cups, I guess, huh?
I guess and so they're bringing that back.
Mm.
I always thought it was deliberate that they spelled people's names wrong. I thought they were like, everybody's gonna bitch, but those are free commercials.
I just
Anybody?
thought
My name's
the employees
Abby.
they hire get
Yeah,
it right or wrong, and that's it. Like it's
my
just
name's
coincidence.
right. Coffee for Angie? Yeah, sure. And what a pretty
Oh,
name. I guess it would be. I don't. Okay.
you say so.
That's Keith, not Kaleidoscope, but if you like it, I like it. Sure. Why not cause more problems in the, kind of a fast food restaurant? Okay. Kendrick Lamar. I'll
Yeah,
tell you,
finally, the thing I'm an expert on,
I
simply by virtue of being black.
I got to I was on the edge of my seat halfway through. Will he play Not Like Us? And of course he did. And it's like, okay,
Mhm.
but he's not going to say all the words. And of course he
No,
did.
no, the
And
piece he chose was just the
the
worst
piece, he chose
part.
that piece. Yeah.
Yeah,
First of all, Liz was watching. She's in Charlotte, but she was watching with her 8-year-old daughter, so she had to
Mhm.
answer some questions. And the daughter's like, "Oh, first of all, what's a rat beef? And is Scissors her real name?" But if you listen to Keith and the Girl episode
So sweet.
3815, it's called Damn, period, all caps, with Rod and Karen Mora. That was done in May. For us white people,
I like them.
Rod and Karen explain the entire rat beef. So that'll catch you up.
Oh, that's
Episode,
super helpful.
yeah.
Yeah, I only dug into researching the rat beef when I heard Tony Baker, he's a funny voiceover comedian, among others. Like he's a comedian, but he also does funny voiceovers for the internet. When he said, I'm sick of this rat beef, like stop talking about it. And that was months ago. So I was like,
Oh,
oh, I better learn what it is before it goes away. And then little did we know it would never go away. He'd go on to win Grammys. It's at the halftime show.
it's gonna win Grammys, and they're gonna play the part where he goes, "I bet Drake wants, Drake is singing. Is it A minor?" And Taylor Swift is singing to it, and fucking all the hottest singers are singing to
The
it.
entire stadium knows that part, so they were joining in.
And the
Oh
stadium
man,
did it. It's fucking crazy. And there were a couple curse words. Abby
true.
pointed out what's they get away with it because old white people can't follow what's going on the end.
It's way too fast. There's too many lyrics to capture what he said.
You also brought up this is a great point. I thought Samuel L. Jackson every so often would jump in. He's Uncle Sam, get it?
Uh-huh.
And he's like he represents America, uptight America, and he's like uh, you know, he's like, maybe I should play the song everybody wants, and they play that beat, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, don't do it, not uptight America, And you pointed out like, oh, he's doing some kind of Spike Lee shit, and that's
Yeah, the
that's
same
what
thing
it
he
is.
did in the other Spike Lee movies.
Right,
He's the
right,
narrator that says poetic things that you don't really understand.
right.
Yeah, I got that. I got that one. That was the one layer that I think I captured, but I don't have time to like read a dissertation on it, so I'm never gonna know all the messages I've missed.
So Kendrick Lamar is doing this song about Drake being a pedophile, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, and that's the only part that he didn't say. He said he looked at the camera and said, "Hey Drake, I hear you like him young." And he has I'll
Hey,
put this
Drake.
in show notes, but he had a smile on his face like, "Oh, you if you're Drake, you knew better not to have a Super Bowl party, right?"
Yeah, he hadn't smiled up to that point. Even during the
Yeah,
the the sneak previews of Drake, I'm sorry, of Kendrick's
yeah,
performance, it was just Kendrick like posing seriously. So the
yeah, like
fact that he
thinking.
smiled at that moment was in the camera was really
He was
funny.
thinking like he was a comic, being like, "What am I going to say on stage tonight? Let me think." Yeah, I think you got it all figured out. I think the band and dancers have to know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was contemplating. But yeah, he that look to the camera was literally so cheeky,
Yeah, it
you
was.
know?
It was good. It was good. It's hard to deny that one everybody felt that one. And also something else is kind of related, but it has to do with the halftime show
Uh-huh.
is that you had a guest who was going to predict some kind of skin exposure. I think it was like nipples. Do we
Mm,
see nipples or not nipples
right.
this year?
Well,
And
we
at first
just
I
had
thought
Usher.
we had, well, that's the thing. I said, well, we haven't seen nipples since Janet Jackson. And she's like, no, 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 Usher last year. So I was like, you're right. There is a lot of skin that gets shown at these. I'm sure Prince had a deep V when he was on.
Right.
And then this happened to be the most conservatively dressed
Yeah.
halftime show I've ever seen. They're just layers upon layers of fabric. And
But
I didn't know if there was significance to that.
right, well, I'm sure there were so many. I'm sure it's like a black person telling me all this stuff in Black Panther, for example, where it's like, oh, what this must mean something. This necklace must mean something. This
Everything means something.
Everything
But
must mean
yeah.
something. In fact, like I didn't realize in the Grammys that he was wearing all denim, and that's called a Canadian tuxedo. Drake, of course, is Canadian.
Oh snap!
It's
Yep,
just a
that
little,
I will buy. I believe that connection, and also the bling. You and I noticed there were diamonds everywhere.
yeah.
What was that? Someone pointed out to me what that was on Instagram, and now I've forgotten it. So
Okay.
sorry, I can't impart the wisdom of my culture.
Well, he
But
brought up like, you watch, he's
something.
gonna just look at the camera, eat a Drake coffee cake.
That's what that's what I was hoping for, and
I
I'm
th-
sad that it didn't happen.
and he had a small A as a necklace was his pendant.
Yeah,
And
that
and I
one. Yeah,
did you
go ahead.
get it?
No, it was explained to me. I couldn't see anything beyond what you were saying, which isn't that the Amazon symbol? And I was like, is this about capitalism?
I didn't
But
know if it was
they
like, is that the A for drag?
it was actually it was not a major A, it was a minor. It was a
It's an A
minor.
minor.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
So apparently it was obvious to a lot of the TikTokers. I just didn't get it.
What if Drake's having a party and people are like,
Hmm.
okay, fuck him, but what does that A mean? And Drake's like, I know what the fuck it means.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who knows? Who even knows? That's what he said, and he
Right.
walks out of the room.
Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. What the fuck? And I didn't get it at first, and I didn't recognize her because she didn't have a tennis racket in her hand. But Serena
Hmm.
Williams was doing a little dance on the side.
Yes.
She used to date Drake.
Yeah, and not only that, he pursued her publicly, apparently, and then she ultimately decided, no, we don't click. And so then he trashed her or dogged her publicly. I didn't look up for the receipts. I mean, I
Mm,
didn't look up the receipts to find this out,
right.
but it makes a lot of sense. Also, if you look at the big screen, like the drone camera view, it looked like an Xbox, and she was standing on the X of the Xbox, and Drake was her X. So it was
Oh,
all symbols on
wow.
symbols on symbols.
Jesus. And you know what? Super Bowl's probably happy. They're like, well, this isn't too expensive. You just have like three little set pieces. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm good.
He's like, I'll keep it simple, and all the cameos will be doing me a favor, so they won't
Right.
even seek payment. They'll be happy to be there.
You think he thought like, let's get Rihanna in there. Let's get
That would have been good. Oh my goodness. Let's get a little bottle of dancing hot sauce. I don't know if you remember that rumor about him.
no, what's that?
Oh, that Drake.
He
I
jerks
don't know if it
off?
was ever corroborated. No, no, no. He put hot sauce in a condom after coming.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
I was trying to use a euphemism for sex, and then I said like the worst thing you can say. Um coming together with a lady. And then yeah, and so it was just that was to kill the sperm, but then the rumor has it she fished it out of the bathroom and didn't know it had hot sauce in it, and then that's what went. I don't even. What am I
Okay.
reading that I found that out? But for a while, people were linking him and hot sauce together.
He plays the movie The Crush in the background. um, he, he did.
All this stuff.
I guess he probably did think he'd have to think about it, like, do I get Rihanna in this? No, it's like no, people won't get the point because she's a superstar,
And she's with someone else now. She's
right?
got kids. Yeah. And
But
she
I'll
just
get
did the Super Bowl halftime show. Like she's, yeah,
right, but I'll get
that's
Serena Williams because you'll be like, why the fuck would she be there? She's a tennis player. That's
yeah,
what made it
and
awesome.
she's rocking like a different hair color
Yeah,
lately. So yeah, only if you knew that she crip walked at Wimbledon and got fined for it did you then recognize her doing that dance again. But
and I saw it look like, and Trump was there, and he was Trump. By the way, he's gonna cut spending. It costs over $10 million to get him there and keep him safe. But okay, so
no,
anyway, Trump didn't appreciate the halftime show, but he should appreciate the pettiness of getting Drake's ex to dance. Like I wonder if somebody explained it to him, and he's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I don't. I wonder. I wonder if how much attention he paid. Was he like
Right,
Drake and thought this is well, he's in a different way. Trump's like, well, this isn't about me, so I'm completely disinterested,
right,
and then
yeah.
he left the room. I don't know.
The so halftime, it's 24-0. It'd be funny, like Taylor Swift is like, but this is where I fake dance and act like I care about the other artists. This is kind of she has to make a decision and be like,
This is
I'll
her
look like an asshole
time.
if I dance during this, at least.
So
I
did they
didn't
not
think
cut to
she
her at all? Did they not cut to her at all for that part?
did no, I don't think they did.
So she wasn't
No, she
bopping her
was
head.
hiding. She knew to hide. No, she was not bobbing her head.
That was her bathroom break.
Right.
That's good. Wow. So it's tough. It's so sticky when you back the wrong team and you
Right.
don't like truly she did. And she didn't know she was doing that until that moment.
I saw a picture in the paper of Drake just walking on the street. But he has fashion like a fucking weirdo. Big blue boots, yellow shorts, a white t-shirt, and the t-shirt said, "Wait till you." I'll put these pictures at keithandthegirl.com. Wait till you see my and an arrow going right down to his junk. Okay.
All right, here it is. Wait till you see my
So the word about you is that you're a pedophile, now, and you're just walking around the streets.
hmm.
It's kind of weird to
It's
me.
yeah, it's saying I want attention, but I don't know how to control the narrative, so I will feed
Right.
into the current. I
And
don't know.
I mean, there's kids on the street. The whole thing's weird. Like, this is you're not as fucking clever as you think by just saying, I got a big dick. Like, well, they're talking about your dick just fine, by the way.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, I don't know that anyone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that choice is all about. But I think
Do you
the
think
PR people are overpaid if that's happening.
could he be could he be trying to gaslight us in that like Louis C.K. gets outed for taking his dick out, blocking doors with women, et cetera, et cetera. Then puts out a movie called "I Love You, Daddy." That's
Mm.
about John Malkovich plays an actor that likes very young girls.
Ew, that happened? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Oh
I was
yeah.
giggling just a minute ago because I was imagining him blocking the door with his
With
penis
his
being
dick
out.
sideways.
Those two sentences were so close
Right.
together, I couldn't not picture that.
But
Uh,
but he
so
put out
then he
this.
makes art
He
that
made
has John
art.
Malkovich.
He
Okay.
made art almost like, and it's definitely Woody Allen esque.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds
Jazzy,
like it.
literally jazz, and for the music, black and white, and so it's. I think he did that deliberately so that when people go, "Hey, this Louis C.K., this is why it's so bad," and people would be like, "That was a movie, you idiot." That's what
Mm.
I think. And now, is that what Drake is trying to do? Like, no, that was just a T-shirt. Like, should he wear a shirt that says "I love kids" and be like, "No, that was just the way the public took it."
Yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna they always do plausible deniability of like no, that's not what I meant when it goes
Right.
south. But it's like I don't know why he would even bring that up. Like, why is that the shirt to wear
Right.
instead of like I love my mom or something?
Right.
Lean into the softness that everybody's
Right.
criticizing you for or something.
Mom raised
But
a
don't
good boy and fuck boys and fuck girls too and not fuck them. Hey, hate them. They make me sick. Be a grown adult. By the way,
Anyway.
speaking of Serena Williams, when Taylor got booed, Taylor Swift got booed,
Mhm.
and then Serena wrote on X, Twitter, "I love you at Taylor Swift 13. Don't listen to those boos." Is
Yeah.
that extra weird? Like, no, those were definitely boos. Because you could see video online now of Trump and people are acting like they're cheers, people are acting like they're boos. I don't know,
Did you
but
think it was
Taylor was.
shady that she pointed it out to Shaler?
I don't, but it's weird. Like,
Oh.
those were definitely boos, Taylor. And don't worry about it. But nobody can spin this. Those were fucking boos.
I don't like when I get pep talks after I bomb. When people are
Right.
like, "Hey, don't." It's like, don't admit that you also saw it. Just like I already know. I don't need like Taylor knew she got booed. She didn't need
Right.
Serena publicly being like, "Too bad about getting booed, huh?"
It's that joke. I don't care what people say about you. You're okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Did you see? And
It
it's
was
weird.
maintaining until now. I feel worse. Yeah.
Right. 2025, I got to keep saying this is absolutely true. But the cover of Time magazine, there's still Time magazine, is the president's desk, the flag's behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Elon Musk instead of
No.
Trump.
Oh, time.
I
You're so subversive.
I have to
Do we like
picture.
it?
I think it's funny. I have to picture Elon Musk as going. Honestly, that's only going to get me in trouble with the president. God damn it.
Does he care at this point? I don't know.
Trump?
I don't. No, no, no. Does Elon care what Trump thinks of him? I think they're
Yes.
both in this. I thought they were both so self-focused. They're like, yes, we will work together because we align as billionaires. But then if you pit them against each other, they're going to be out for themselves, right?
Yeah, but Trump does have the more power.
Mm, okay.
He already
And
has
he's
Elon's
not the richest.
money.
He's not the richest person in the
He
world.
got all
But
the money
yeah,
he needed. He's just fine. And and so no, I think Elon's still kissing Trump's ass.
okay. To
That's
get
what I
what? What
think.
does he get out of it? He gets
Power,
just
power. He
the
gets the
illusion
fucking treasury information. He's getting things just fine.
to just get richer, right? He's like evading more taxes and helping billionaires evade more taxes
To get
and
richer and
helping the
his ego
planet
and his
go
ego's
away.
up there and he likes to walk around like he owns the White House. He loves all that shit.
Okay. Well, then that's a very poignant cover of Time, and it sounds like they called his number. They got his
Supposedly
number.
supposedly when Elon Musk performed some time ago with Dave Chappelle. Do you remember this? Dave Chappelle brought him out.
Hey, I saw him
Elon,
get booed.
Elon Musk tried to be funny. This crowd, of course, knows funny and is like, "Fuck you, boo, you suck."
Hmm.
Apparently, he had some kind of meltdown, and employees were fearful he was going to hurt himself. Like he pouted, locked in a room,
Hmm.
and wouldn't
That's
talk to
nice to
people
know.
for a long time. What do we think? What do we think? I'm not a fan. Elon Musk and this Nazi shit and giving the Nazis salute and all this. And you know what I'm seeing online also? Like,
Uh-huh.
here's a picture of a Democrat waving. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And do your kids walk all over you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I saw what
I
I
think he did
saw.
do the Nazi salute. He was hoping it would appeal to the people he already appeals to. And then he did that fake plausible deniability by getting ahead of it and saying haters will say this is a Nazi salute. And it's like, you think?
Is
And
that
it's
getting
like,
ahead of it
so
instead of just saying it was not?
yeah, well, it was.
Of course it
And that's
was.
the thing. I have this feeling about Matt Gaetz too, or I don't even know him, but I don't read headlines about him, but everything I ever see about him, like I think he tweeted, did everybody raise your hand if you survived the Black Nationalist halftime show?
Oh
And
wow.
it's like, oh come on. Like
Jesus
you're it's
Christ.
not even a dog whistle anymore. It's like
Yeah.
you're openly pandering to people who like white supremacy and you don't see anything
Yeah.
wrong with that. And that's okay. Like the fake acting like, is that what you think I did? And it's like, yes,
Right.
that's what you did. We
Did
know
they're
you did
like
it.
they're like, did I? And I can't tell if it's a question. Uh, the Onion put out an article. Nazi hopes Elon Musk's anti-Semitism apology is as disingenuous as it sounds. you
Yeah,
see,
pretty much. Like, why waste your breath? Just ugh.
you see, Kanye West is going nuts again. He's tripolar. This fucking guy.
I I heard it. I heard he said, "No, I'm not bipolar anymore. I'm simply autistic." I thought that's the last thing I heard. But then I thought, is he making new headlines because parading his wife around naked didn't get the attention he hoped it would? Is that
Right.
the issue?
I thought you guys were into nudity. It was shocking. That only lasted a day. Well, check this out. So he's shitting on Dave Chappelle, first of all. And he says,
Okay.
why do I target Dave Chappelle? Because y'all think he's speaking for black peoples when he's really a voice for Jewish agendas. Now
Okay.
put this coon ass N word up on stage and let him do his coon shit while I name comedians that are way funnier than you that don't have as big a name. Hope you gone hope you gone call yourself the funniest man on earth right in front of Chris Rock, whose name is actually bigger than yours. He kind of types like Trump, right?
Manic. Yeah, I mean,
Here's
there's
some
no
more.
rhyme or reason to mental illness, so I guess the timing of it doesn't have to be calculated. It can
But,
just happen when it happens.
sure, but yeah, I don't feel bad when the mental illness turns into Nazi shit. He tweets out, "I am a Nazi. I love Hitler. Now what bitches? Hitler
Oh
was
no.
so fresh. These are real. Call me Adolf Hitler, and your bitch
Ew,
still wants to fuck."
no.
He's vying for a
What's he
cabinet
thinking?
position. I love Hitler. Now what bitches?
That's what I'm
Like I
saying. What does
said,
he get
yeah.
out of it? If even if Trump's cabinet like endorses him for whatever reason, gives him a fake job, like what do these people get out of it? It's all smoke and mirrors. Like I don't know. But you said Elon has actual
You got
power.
it.
He gets to make actual changes.
And Kanye gets to fight the good fight because he believes in Nazism. I don't think he's making it up. I don't. You know, people love to roll their eyes and be like, well, he can't really believe it. Look the fuck around. People
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah,
People
yeah.
are
I agree.
Nazi-esque.
It's like when Snoop Dogg and Nelly both decided to perform for the inauguration, and then they got some backlash, specifically from Black culture. And then Nelly went on the record and was like, "I didn't do this for money. I did it because he's a good president. Who are you gonna tell me he's a good president?" And then he starts bringing up like everything wrong the Democrats have ever done, and everybody's
Right,
like, "Oh, okay. So you're not just." It's
right.
like he just kind of, like you just said, believe him when he's saying what he's saying
Yeah,
because he wants you to, and it's like, oh, okay, that's you're
right.
a MAGA. I didn't know. Sorry.
On a happier note, the quarterback for Philadelphia wore shoes that he wasn't supposed to wear. There's certain
Ooh.
rules to these uniforms of the in murder ball, and with the fashion, your shoes have to be team colors or white or black. And he
Mm-hmm.
had red shoes that were custom made,
Mm,
Jordans. And if you
weird.
recall, Michael Jordan, he wore his Jordans and got fined for wearing them, these Nike shoes. And he said, I don't give a shit. I'm getting more attention and Nike's paying me. And that's where he
Okay.
made most of his money. So yeah, who gives a fuck? And then you win the Super Bowl. All right, give me a fine. I don't care. It wrote at the back of the shoe said unbannable on them, the word.
Oh.
Yeah. So okay. All right. You know what? Fuck it. Do it. In fact,
I
just do it. Yeah.
mean, just
Yeah. Good for you, man. Good for you.
I guess, yeah, that's fun. And it didn't say choose love. Okay.
No, it didn't say end racism. I think he was rolling his eyes. Yeah.
stop, and hate on each
Right.
foot. Oh well, I guess
Now
missed
go out there and
opportunity.
kill them. I do want to make a public service announcement. If anybody has a Macintosh out there, and I believe there's a couple of you, I updated to the latest. It's called
Mhm.
Sequoia 15.3. And now
Wow.
my printer doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
And my girlfriend's printer, different state, different printer is my point. She got problems too. And it said that your printer soon won't be working anymore. Now I don't know if Apple's going to come out with printers, but this update fucked with my printer without a warning. And if I was warned, I wouldn't have updated my computer.
Well, I'm sorry for you. I'm actually happy because this means AI is not as cohesive. Like the artificial intelligence uprising is not happening as soon as we think it will because they can't even like
Right.
communicate with each other. If there's going to be firewalls like that keep them from uniting, then okay, maybe they won't take over humanity yet.
Yeah,
But that does stink that they did that to you.
I called Canon today. Hold music for half an hour. And by the way,
Ooh.
that loud piano music that's somehow supposed to. I'd rather you whispered, "You're still happy." It's
Unregulated volume.
the unregulated volume. It's fucking crazy. That's half hour. Then the call after was 45 minutes. And I'm like, what a coincidence this happened during the Mac update. Whoever's fault it is, I see your website says you have the 15.2 update, not 15.3. And they're like, and then these tech guys, they always do the same thing. Like they dismiss you because they deal with idiots, I guess. And they're like, okay, now is your computer on? I'm like, motherfucker. So I go, okay, let's do all the dumb shit. Unplug, replug, turn this off, do that. Surprise, surprise, nothing fucking worked. But a couple times I'd be like, I'm doing this, but just so you know, I print constantly and it stopped when I did the update. Like, I hear you. Now, are you spilling water on your printer? I'm like, motherfucker, come on. And they're like, oh, yeah, so, yeah, I think there's a problem with the update. I'm like, no shit. I do see, though, yours says 15.2, not 15.3. And they go, 15.2 is the latest. I'm like, the latest that works? They're like, no,
right.
that should work fine. And I'm just thinking, then why wouldn't you label it 15.3? Even if it's good for all 15s, why did you label it 15.2?
Interesting.
And they're like, oh, you have to call Apple. And then, of course, the call's over, nothing gets solved, and they go, anything else I can help you with? And I'm like, if you're implying
I think you've already helped me.
that there's any fucking help, I don't think people,
Wow.
and he acts like he knows his shit, this guy on the phone. I don't think people know computers like they act like they do, the same way they can't swim like they act like they can swim. If
Well,
I'm
did you give him the business or were you just being polite?
I went with it. I threw in every so often, like, just saying again about the blah, blah, blah. He's like,
Okay.
yeah. And then kept going.
All right. But sorry, you were going ahead and metaphor about swim.
And then he went, and then, at the end, he's like, okay, I hope you have a great day. This is my way of getting back. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Click. Yeah. Like, thanks. Okay. So that's the way I gave the business.
That's my daughter does, and then she'll add, hope you can hear the sarcasm in my voice.
That's what
like, yeah, I got it.
Next time. But yeah, I'll get people like laughing at me like, you don't know computers, and then you show them the problem and they can't figure it out, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, how about an apology with your fucking attitude? And I brought up swimming because people I can't swim. But if you saw me swim, you'd be like, Keith, what are you talking about? You can swim. But I'm not really breathing when I'm swimming. So I would be dead.
You can't survive.
And they go, well, everybody could swim. I could swim well. But you know what? You ever been on a boat and something falls over the boat? I don't see people jumping in so fucking fast. If I could swim, I would go in there and get it and come right back up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you.
But no, I wouldn't. I think what do people mean when they say you can swim? Because it's like, no, most of us would drown if given the chance.
And then I'll let somebody, and I do mean let, because I know it's not going to go anywhere, quote, teach me how to swim. And what do? They kind of hold your stomach. It's like, okay, I can lay out and have float. And they're like, okay, that's the big. I'm like, okay. Now move your arms. I'm like this, and then hand straight and thumb first, like that. Yeah, you're swimming. I'm like, okay, you did it. There are so many people out there, Abby, that are proud they taught me to swim.
Yeah. But you're like, it's not staying. But
I'm just holding my breath. I see TV. I see the Olympics. I know what swimming is.
I'm simply not drowning until I have no choice but to drown.
I look
Yeah.
at where I'm going. I'm like, I'll try to keep this straight.
Now I say the same thing that I can't swim, but when I say it, I mean I do not know how you. What do you do? Breathe bubbles out when your head is down, and then turn your head sideways and inhale. For some reason, the coordination of that has never
Me
worked
too.
for me, and I sputter. And okay, so then you do
Yeah,
not know how to swim,
we
and
don't.
neither do I.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think
For
other
my, it's
people
not like I'm
know.
trying.
I don't know
I
how
don't. Yeah.
many people know either because I'll be in the ocean with them and I'm tall, so I can go. I can walk further than them, but they get a little nervous and come back in. And I'm like, this isn't fucking Point Break. I thought you could swim.
We can all tread water, but I don't have the endurance. I don't have Michael Phelps's lungs or
Right.
the endurance of somebody who can tolerate that. So I even if I can swim, it's like a very limited amount of time that I can swim. So I say
Right.
no, I can't.
I will
Don't
tell
put
you
me
though, with
near big bodies of water. Won't happen.
this Apple update has AI Playground. So I can't use my
Oh.
printer, but I can VR myself in a sleeveless shirt around computer equipment that's on fire. I'll put that picture up for you. But so it's kind of worth it. It's kind of worth it.
Okay. Yeah, there's a silver lining to the dark
Yeah.
cloud.
Anyway, fly Eagles fly. You did it. I'm
Good
seeing
job.
video of that. They really are burning their fucking town down. I'm seeing video of them tearing down, look real huge, thick, just like you would picture, light poles with traffic lights on them.
Oh.
They're, as a group, they tear it the fuck down. They're carrying it, I don't know, to where. It's not fitting in your house as a joke. And they're going, fuck the Chiefs.
I don't know. Unless you guys were the men that installed that light post, and so you know
How
how
would
to
you know
like
how
put it
to?
back up again.
And
It
like,
seems unnecessary.
and like, are they going to get lawyers? And then the lawyer's like, this is under the new January 9th insurrection law, and they're free to go. Like, it is confusing what we can and can't do now, right?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the logic is not there. I don't know what it's about.
Well,
People lost their
congrats,
minds, I
guys.
guess.
Congrats, and go eat some horse shit. You know what's better than your cheesesteaks? I'll tell you that much. So I get it.
Oh no.
I was taking notes in my phone app, and I
Yeah.
wrote, don't forget to mention the horse shit. And I typed horse wrong, and I wrote by accident HIRSE, but it didn't correct it. And then I wrote shit, and then I put a space, and then it corrected horse. It's like, you must mean horse. We heard about Philadelphia. Okay.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm not
They
joking
get
when
it.
I say this either. People in Philadelphia last night brought bags of horse shit to this hangout, this massive fucking party, and hoping that other people would eat it. Now that's brotherly love. They're like, don't worry, I brought some horse shit.
Wow.
That's what they bring to the party. You got to be clear.
This is how folklore becomes a trend, and I don't like it.
Right.
You got to leave it in the. You got to limit it to the one weirdo that did it. You can't just start making it a thing, guys. Come on.
That's right.
City of brotherly love. That's funny.
KeithAndTheGirl.com/guests. Take a look at all the guests that we have there, including the great Abbi Crutchfield. You can type in KeithAndTheGirl.com/ and that person's name.
I
You'll
didn't
see
know
the
it has
full-
all my history of my appearances.
yeah.
You're gonna see like the ups and the downs.
Oh yeah.
I'm on TV. I haven't worked in a year.
It's
I
very
can't
exciting.
have kids. I have a kid, and I can't stand it.
They were
gonna be a nice
teasing me.
roller
My,
coaster.
my uterus was teasing me. And of course, every show we've ever done is under your VIP program, KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. That includes, we just did a recent Q&A. That's where the great Newsy takes a day, whatever day it is, goes back that day through every year in the last 20 years to see what we were talking about. That's our history.
Whoa.
Yes.
Cool. That's
And we
neat.
talk about what things we shouldn't have said and et cetera, et cetera. But the chat pack was very fun. There were 9 people there on this last one. Make sure you check it out.
Awesome.
Let's see. KeithAndTheGirl.com/Abbi Crutchfield, like I said. What else should people know?
I didn't know that that you ever like look back and have regrets. I feel like the whole vibe of this show is I speak my mind
Oh, that's sweet.
and
Thank
you
you.
take it and you leave it. And I
Thank
don't
you.
care.
That sounds like a Serena Williams tweet, but thank you. No, I grow. What the fuck?
Passive aggressive compliment, backhanded compliment.
Oh, I
of
thought
like,
you were
"Oh, I
never
didn't know
fucking
you
wrong. Okay. All right, Abby.
No, you just no, you have a very you seem like a yeah, you always surprise me. You seem like a tough guy, but
Oh, thank you.
inside you're
Oh,
a
bless
very
you.
weak person. No, you're just a very vulnerable. You have a vulnerability.
Thank you.
Okay. Where else? You know what, guys? Stay tuned. I don't even know what social media account to tell them to look at because it's all corrupt. I would tell them Blue Sky, but I don't even respect Blue Sky like that. I'm on there. I'm on everything. And you just look up curly comedy,
Okay.
put it in your browser of choice, and then the algorithm will tell you which environment to watch me in.
There you go.
That's
It
how you
knows
can
you
find
better
more
than
about me.
we. Yeah. Let the computer tell you where to find her.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
If you
Thank
haven't
you.
updated your system.
Right, right. Oh, don't update. Don't
Yeah,
update.
don't do
Shit,
it.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, AI is fun. I turned my girlfriend's face into a sex robot. So it is worth it. It's very hard to hand rate every idea I have, but
That's what
give
I
and
mean.
take.
See, you'll say that, and then the second we log down, you'll be like, "How are you, honey? What do you
Right.
need? Can I get you anything?"
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
just a complex person.
thank you. Abby, thank you so much for your time. Good seeing you again.
Thanks for having me. Bye.